Peace, peace. Welcome to the show. This right here is Humble Beginnings, where we simply live it through. And y'all know that when I say we simply live it through, there's no matter what adversity or diversity that we go through, all we can do is walk that path and carry it on out. Yo, we got a good show that we're going to discuss some things tonight. But first, I got to bring my team up because it would not be possible without the gang. Got my boy Kev C in from Kevin's Perspective. What's up, bro?
What up, man?
Got the girl Izzy. What's going on, Izzy? We got my boy Matty B. What's going on with y'all?
Doing pretty good, man. Beautiful day.
How y'all is? Y'all had a good day today?
Yeah, man.
A wonderful day.
Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Cool.
Want to put some respect on my name tonight.
Ooh. Let them know.
Cool. Most definitely. So, y'all, we're going to talk about why is there so little respect for the black man? That's what we're gonna talk about today. So I've been seeing a lot of different things, scrolling across YouTube and looking on even other stuff, and I'm like, there's a lot of disrespect out here, and I don't think we kind of value to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to ask a few questions and see what what is it something we doing wrong, or did we miss something, or what happened? You know what I'm saying? I just want to get into it. So we're going to go ahead and jump in this thing. But before we start winding down, I got a question. That I heard on another podcast somewhere. I can't even remember which one it was I was looking at. But I heard them ask a question, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So before we jump into it, I want to know, do you have to respect someone to hold them accountable? I heard this. Do you have to respect someone to hold them accountable? So I'm going to ask y'all this first before we jump into this thing. Matt, what you think, man? Do you have to respect somebody to hold them accountable?
No, not really. You don't have to. I think they have to respect you to take your advice of being held accountable. But as far as you holding them accountable, you can do that. It's just gonna be a long uphill battle. If there's somebody that don't respect you. But as far as respecting them, you don't have to respect them to hold them accountable.
Cool. Izzy, what you think about that? Do you have to respect someone to be able to hold them accountable?
I agree with Matt. I don't think so. If we take this and apply it to I guess a boss and a worker, I don't think there has to be the respect there necessarily. I mean, it would be ideal, but I don't think there has to be respect there to hold someone accountable, because basically holding someone accountable is just a certain expectations that they expect you to do. So yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Kev, man, what you think, man?
Yeah, I don't think you even have to know someone to hold them accountable, man. It's just like even what Izzy said, it's about holding them to the expectation that's set.
Okay, yes, we on the same page with that, then, because I definitely don't believe, like how you said, I don't have to know you, dog, to hold you to whatever it is that is, carrying upon the laws upon the land, at least from wherever it is that you're at. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this thing. Man, so we're talking about respect and black men. So it's only right that we just talk about the culture in itself. Are we respected within this culture we have of the black community? You know what I'm saying? Are we respected? Black men, are we even respected in this culture? And y'all know what the culture look like today, so let's talk about it. Izzy, what you think?
I mean, I don't really think so. I mean, I think we have a lot of things taken from us. So it's a secret, it's a secret thing that people do where they basically steal our ideas, our mannerisms, our art, but there's no respect there. And sometimes I think it's really because we basically show people how to treat us, whether we're black, white, whatever. And the mass majority of African Americans, we kind of take pride in glorifying and really using disrespectful terminology and disrespecting each other, especially with the dating culture, or just even brother to brother, sister to sister, light skin to dark skin. We have little different intricate ways that we disrespect each other where we could all be winning. And I think it's really just because it just comes from a mindset of scarcity But all in all, I don't think that there's respect there.
So I was the part of what you said in the beginning. I had just said to somebody earlier that I hate that whenever you started asking people about are we respected, they love to point out the fact that people like to emulate certain things that we do. And I'm like, just because somebody emulates some of the things we do, don't mean that they respect us now. Like, just because they copying some shit, don't mean that they got respect for us. They could
Right.
just see some shit and then they like it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think I mentioned that, and I think that's always mentioned because of the detriment of how people steal our culture. You know, they literally copy and paste it down to our braids. It's like they copy and paste it and they love the culture, but they don't respect it. I think it's just because of like the way they do it. Like they just take so much of like our culture, but we still can't get respect. That's why I think that's always something that's mentioned.
Okay. Kev,
Yeah.
what you think, man? Are we respected in
Uh,
this culture?
Black people as a whole is what we're saying.
I'm asking I'm asking about the men.
Black men, no. I think that black men in this culture over the years it dwindles because black men are in this society in a position where we always have to prove everything. Um, all the respect has to be earned. So there's not really. Will I say that we're respected initially? No, it's all about condition and whether that respect has been earned or not, and whether someone wants to use their choice to give it to us or not. It's all in the mercy of other people at this point. So I don't think overall we respect it completely at all. I just use Birdman as an excuse, as a example. Man, you gotta put some respect on my name. All three of y'all.
Yo, Matt, what you think, man? You respected in this culture?
Uh, as a whole, no, but I don't think people, men, female, race, whatever gender, should be respected as a whole. I believe those that more respectfully do get the respect that they deserve amongst their own culture and amongst other cultures. I feel like if we're going specifically how our culture treats us, yeah, there's people that get respect in any avenue, in any walk of life that they deal with. It's just that the respect is something you actually value being respected for. You know what I'm saying? Because people may get respect because they best dress. You know, you may not care about that, but that ain't your lane. You know, people need to find their lane that they actually respect it in rather than trying to fit in with other people. Some people may get respect because they workout freaks, you know. Somebody else might not get that respect because they ain't in that avenue. So I think it's based on what avenue you're in. I believe everybody can find respect. No one's not getting respect off solely off race. There may be some people that have some biasness, some favoritism, but if you carry yourself a certain way, I think you can get respect in any walk of life.
I gotta.
Yeah.
I kind of think that. Well, my question is, what is the respect even measured by in
It's
black
based
culture? And as far as black men, like, what is the measure of respect? Because different cultures have different measures of respect. Because it kind of goes to what you were saying, as far as different things that you value. So, what is even considered respectable as a black man now?
I think we use the word culture too much for black people. Number one, because I don't believe we even have a culture. Because too many of us believe different things. It's like if you look at Jews, they have a set of beliefs that you can look at almost any Jew ain't had, and not 100%, but there's a guideline that they usually follow, how they usually interact with each other. So much as believe so many different things. I don't think when you speak of culture and when you speak of community, you can't even lump half of the people into no matter what category you use because there's so many black people that just don't rock with what other people are saying is culture. Like a lot of people, what people saying is culture ain't even majority of the people doing it. So I would just say that, I don't want to put myself in that culture, and I think a lot of people aren't in that culture. And if you're not in certain cultures, whatever you get your respect in the path you choose to walk in life, That's what it's based upon, what that individual values. If somebody value their sex game and they get respect off that, they're going to feel respected. If they value their intelligence and the way they move as a man, they're going to attract those people that respect that. So I think it's based on the individual and whatever group they choose to align themselves with.
Yeah, it just seemed like the spectrum is so wide. Like
Yeah.
on one end, this guy is respectable, or he's respected because he's a husband and has a family. On the other end, this guy's respected because he got a gold chain.
I agree. I think that I think that when you get to a certain level, and I'm starting to get to that point now, where if you ain't on a certain level, I don't really value what you respect or don't respect. It's always gonna be idiots that place their respect on something. If you ain't in that lane, we shouldn't even be worrying about them no more. Like, I'm tired of talking about what other people respect and don't respect. You don't respect this, and you on a level that you may be on chapter 1 and I'm on chapter 10. That's okay. I don't value your respect like that, and that's something that we do in the Black community a lot too. We look at what people respect. We move based on what certain people respect and don't respect. If you're trying to be a king, you're trying to be in the 15%, or you're trying to be in a certain level in life, you're going to have less respect than probably some other people that's on a lower level, because they just appeal to more people that ain't on your intellectual ability. You got to value what the people that's on your ability and what they look at.
I agree. I mean, I don't disagree with none of what you said. I think everything you said was valid. I mean, pretty much, realistically. Next question: did we ever really have an opportunity to lead as Black men? So we're talking about community, and then even the movement of the culture. Did we ever really have an opportunity to lead? What y'all think, Maddie? What you think, man?
Yeah, 100%. I think every person has an ability to lead. Just because we ain't gaining those leadership skills quick enough, there ain't no excuse to not develop those leadership skills. Of course, when you're in a broken community like ours and how it was broken up by the government and certain stuff that happened to us, you have an image that's already portrayed on you, and the stigma. So it might be a harder battle for you to get to that level of getting respect. But I think everybody has to earn, and everybody has that opportunity. If you don't think you got the opportunity, you're just holding yourself back. You're already losing mentally. You already set yourself behind the 8 ball. I had the chance to lead at any age, as much as any other man, just because I ain't got the knowledge, and I ain't applying it. That ain't nobody else's fault but mine. But I think everybody has the same chance if they put themselves and they know where they go in life.
I'm gonna let everybody else go. You said some things I want to respond to. Izzy, what'd you think about that? For black men, did they ever really have the opportunity to lead amongst the community or this culture?
Amongst the community, I think so. I think it just depends, like, on your mindset, because you have to really like think, like, everybody does have the opportunity to either accept defeat or step into like their leadership role and step into their excellence. So everybody does have a choice. It really is up to you. Um, of course, everybody has different hardships that they have to overcome. That makes things a little bit harder to step into that, but it's definitely there if you work hard for it. Um, it's sometimes, like, I think that, like, we have to like really like look at the scope of like leadership in terms of like Black people and like what it means, or Black men, and what it means to us to lead. Like, does it mean to be financially stable? Does it mean to be respected amongst like friends and peers? Does it mean to be, like, have like, I don't know, a high paying job, so anything of that nature, or all of them, honestly. So we have to like really look at the categories of respect, and then also look at it like what we respect and what it means to be a leader, and also apply it to, I guess, like other people, like, and like what they see in terms of that, because it's not just us in this world. We have multiple races, Asian, white, Hispanic. So we have to like look at what we look as leadership roles, and to see if like what we think like is a leader is actually like leaders amongst like other people, because we can't just be like, I don't know, one-sided and tunnel vision in that aspect where it's like, oh, because I think this is a leadership role, like this is what it should be for everybody else. Like, so I think we should like look at ourselves and look at what we view as leadership, and then like I guess apply it to like other people and like compare and contrast and see like where we go wrong in that aspect. So I mean, but all in all, I do think that we do have the opportunity to lead if we work hard enough.
Okay. Kev, man, what you think about this? Did we ever really have the opportunity to lead?
I had to think about this for a quick second, man, because I know we talked about it a little bit on the Something to Say podcast a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think that Black men ever had the opportunity to lead because we were never in the position of power to do it. I think that as far as a community, yes, we had Black leaders. Yes, we had people who may have stepped out in front, but overall, Black men never had the position to really demand, in the context of respect, never were in the position to demand respect from anyone from a leadership standpoint. So I guess from a opportunity, like, yeah, you might have had the opportunity to lead your household. But if you're talking about overall, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's kind of I was I was gonna say the exact same thing, like right after Maddie had finished saying what he's saying. I don't think we ever actually had the opportunity. Like we'll say, like leadership, like how you broke it down, like, yeah, maybe you have it of the household, but when you're talking about the community side of it, we still have to fall underneath, you know what I'm saying, others. Even if we're saying Black people, we still are falling underneath white people, so to say, because the things are still being ran and gathered by them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still have to give and take from them, especially when you're talking about coming into that age and that era. So I definitely don't believe we ever had the opportunity to actually lead. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the reason why. Well, I don't want to jump the gun because we're going to get into this.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Well, I feel like, honestly, like if you think about it, if you're even looking at like white and Black, I feel like the main difference, the only thing that can really, really define like a leader in terms of like, being able to take charge and being able to like, I guess, be respected is really like being financially. I feel like that's like having like the finances. That's really like the only thing or type of power you can really gain, honestly. Even if you look at like, let's say like celebrities, they're not even able to really like say what they want to say if they're basically being ran and owned by a corporation who owns and pays their like bills. So I feel like the only type of freedom and the only type of like real leadership you can really gain is through finances. And technically, like, especially when you live in America, I feel like everybody's capable of like getting money at this point.
So if we go off of what you said, and that if that's where it sits, then that would prove the point that we never really had a chance to lead.
Now, a chance is just an opportunity. You don't necessarily, just because you ain't got there, don't mean you ain't had a chance.
Right.
No, I'm talking about overall. I'm not talking about the individual come up. So like when Izzy was giving her breakdown about us having these opportunities to see these certain roles of financial this and this and that. Yes, when you're talking about the individual basis of like the family and all this other stuff like that, yes, to those chances, yes, but we're talking about overall.
I think
and
overall,
standing out overall, we never actually had that opportunity.
But like I said, just because people ain't aligning with each other, I don't look at nothing as even with white people, all of them ain't leading. It's still some of them that's leading and some of them that's not leading. So I wouldn't say that we all have to lead, but I think that we get a certain group of people that move a certain way, that can be done. And you have the opportunity to do that. Just because we can't get along or we don't have the right plan, and that don't mean we don't have the opportunity.
Well, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but you got to remember we started off separated too from the beginning. So when we're that separated going into it, it's very, very hard to have a leader, so to say, because if we're already on separate pages and we all want to do different things, and we started off like this, that means there is no actual opportunity to lead, because from the jump, this person want to go this way, this person want to go that way, this person want to go this way. So it's like, how do you then become that leader then if everybody's already all over the place from the
And
beginning?
you don't have any
Well, I'm talking
control
about
over, you have no control over anything, because yes, even though everyone can get money and has access to money, that's different than controlling the money. So black men have never been in control of any money.
you don't need to be in control of the money to be the lead, though. You don't have to be the top dog of the country or the world to be a leader. You don't have to control no money supply.
Yeah, but we're talking about the entire community here.
Yeah, but then you saying about controlling the money supply, which means you wouldn't just be talking about our community. You talk about a nation type thing then.
But that's what he was talking about. He was like, we never really had an opportunity to lead.
No,
as far as the entire.
I'm not disagreeing with what he said, but then you said community, and then you went to a national thing, and now you're going back to that's what he said.
Well, when normally when people say black community, we talking about black people
overall.
The nation.
Yeah, we talking overall.
When people say the black community, we talking about all the way in California, over here, up north. We're usually talking about black people as a whole upon the nation.
But he said controlling the money supply, which isn't just a black thing. The money supply isn't just a black thing. When you use that example with black people, you're speaking on a nation type thing now about controlling the money supply. You talk about having people in the federal government and all that type of stuff now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just specifically for black people. We never had that specifically just for us.
I mean, they say Black Wall Street was like that. I ain't know, but they said that was like, the people in that community was controlling the money supply for the community. If you talk about large scale, I don't think a new race in any country is going to control it on a large scale. But that don't mean you don't have an opportunity. Because I don't base the opportunity just being the top dog or just being in the top position where you can affect that many people as well. I think you could be leadership. You could be a leadership on a smaller spectrum than that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. It's different spectrums to leadership, but I think that the question was really about from an overall standpoint, as far as leadership in the black or just the black race, period.
Yeah, that's the angle it was going. It wasn't. I mean, we can do anything if we talk about breaking it down to just the smallness of the neighborhood or build to the community or small within the city. But I'm talking about overall. Because you got to remember, just like how right now, how we're on the internet, we're able to be seen for more than just those who are right here around us. So we are casting for a more broader scale. So having the conversation, we're speaking towards that concept of the black, what we call the black community, which is national.
Yeah, me personally, but I don't subscribe to that. So I can only speak for me. I don't subscribe that. I'm not one of the people that's speaking for all of us to come up like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's saying that we all have to, but we're still. The point was just that we're speaking to the opportunity of because we can do the decade jump and talk about all the different things that impacted us through the stages and the phases and all of that. But we still have to. We jump to the beginning. We were already beneath someone. We didn't have that opportunity to jump out there and actually lead though.
Well, when you even say that, like, what position are you even speaking of in general in application to this?
Well, one is it's us having the autonomy more so over our communities and things are going to before we had to then fall underneath. Like we never had the autonomy. You know what I'm saying? We were still always underneath.
That don't mean because you underneath don't mean you ain't had the opportunity. I can be busting your ass 20 games in a row.
If I'm underneath you, my ability to be able to lead would be very, very difficult.
Yeah, but that don't mean you ain't got.
If I'm underneath you,
it's just an uphill battle.
Yeah, but we're talking about a different level of a control spectrum.
We're talking about power, not just leadership.
I agree with that, but I don't think those dynamics existed at one point. I don't think those dynamics existed currently, like how they existed previously. I believe people have the opportunity to make a lot of things happen, even as a community.
Yeah, but we're not doing the time gaps because we're focusing more on I'm gearing it more toward because I'm saying that we ever have. So
Yeah, so ever would be a time thing.
So when we say ever, I'm talking about the preceding time, not the modern time, because we are already too late now. Like it's already fucked up to the point where we got to go back and retrospect it before we can then start diving into that. Because it's like now what we see opportunities in the way and the access that we have to certain things have changed a lot. They have changed a lot. If we start jumping back 1800s, there's a big difference in time of what you've been allowed to do.
What looks like
you couldn't even control your family.
Yeah,
so there's a big difference there, though.
But tell me, what does the community leading look like? Like, what would it look like if we was to actually do it? What would that look like to one of y'all guys?
I think it kind of goes in what Kev's saying as far as autonomy. It has a level of autonomy to it. There's a level of circulation that goes with it.
You talk financial circulation?
Yeah, even in financial circulation.
Finances, health, everything.
Health, education. It's a lot.
Yeah, education, finances, the way the money moves, everything. Your agriculture.
But we spend more dollars in America than any other culture. So if that's a true statement, then that means we do have the money to actually be doing it. It's just that people ain't gaining the knowledge to actually, or even the want to actually be able to do that.
Part of the autonomy is having your own currency.
Yeah.
It's not about dollars.
I just look at leadership differently. Then I think you're talking on a higher spectrum. You know, I think you're talking about like being able to like to shift the whole dynamics of the country. I don't look at leadership as just something that, you know, high level.
Yeah, I get that.
So what is low level leadership?
Well, I think you be a leadership in your community as far as somebody just making their community a better community, establishing guidelines in the community and change the dynamics locally. I don't think you have to have it across America or that, especially controlling money supply to have that happen. I don't believe no culture has that like that. Except cultures that are very small, they come here like Jewish people. There's not a lot of them here in the first place. I think I think also when you come from another country, it's easier too because y'all share something in common. Y'all coming with a standard already. I don't believe white people overall move like that as well.
Well, they don't have to move like, but that's the thing about it. They don't have to move like that because they were already in that position.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think they have their whole community straight like that. Not even majority of the community, even like 51%. I believe it's a lot of white people out here that ain't on a certain level as well.
Yeah, but I mean, we veering away. Overall, we still talking about the impact. Like having that level of autonomy is also what would have set the tone for how we started slowly migrating through. We never had that. We never had it. We were being controlled literally from the beginning. Now we have a lot more liberation, well, a way to be liberated more so through our mind to be able to change our thoughts, but then we would be able to execute and move forward with action. But when we're talking about from the beginning, we did not have that. We literally did not have that.
But I think that if we're talking from two different
I thought we were talking about now, not from the beginning.
I'm saying we're saying and then they keep changing it to the beginning.
Well, it was from the beginning because I said, did we ever have? Which means we got to start from the beginning.
Ever would also include today though, and include the last 5 years.
Yes, but we're still talking about it as a whole. We still don't have it now, first of all. But we have to still start from the beginning. We can't jump and only talk modern and leave out the beginning.
Well, I mean, if you're saying ever, you have to pick. If somebody's opposing that, they have to pick the time frame that they're pointing to say when they did have a.
I said ever in the question. I was addressing the beginning from the beginning.
I got you.
But I think that if you're talking from two different spectrums, from a higher spectrum, like as far as the power of the economy of the black economy, then no, there was no opportunity there. But if we're talking about just family and from the lower spectrum of just the basic level of leadership, then yeah, you can say we had opportunities because we had the opportunity to lead your family and stuff like that, which goes into the respect because the fatherless home. So yeah, I get both sides.
Yeah, I understood. I
Yeah.
understood. Let's dive a little deeper. Do black women really respect black men?
Oh, hold on.
We talking today because we can't live what they do in the past. So all we can talk about is today. Do black women really respect black men? I'll start with Izzy since she's the only female.
Mhm.
It's
I
all
mean,
on you, is it?
I mean, what I can say truly, you have to give respect to get respect. Like you can't like expect respect if you're constantly disrespecting the party that you're trying to get respect from. I think there was originally respect from black women to black men, but I think it's dissipating a little bit just because like we are trying to weigh out our options in terms of who we are and like how we want to be treated moving forward, how we want our family dynamics to go. And like I just think like black women are just kind of fed up with being like the poster child for like brokenness. So, and that's not all black men and all black people, but like it's just the majority that's being really shown in the public eye. So I think like we do give them, I feel like we do give like black men a fair chance to get our respect, but like some black women like don't like, or not even black women, just some people just like, there's a minority of people that just don't even really care about being respected. They just want to be with a black man. But there's other people that like are saying, hey, if I'm not being respected, or if like my family unit's not being respected, then why the hell would I give you respect? Like, where did you earn that from? So I mean, to answer that, you have to give respect to get respect.
Mm.
Okay. Kev, what you think, man? Do black women really respect black men today?
Oh, I was about you put that today on the end, and now they changed my answer. So no, no, I don't think so. I think that to be honest, when you talk about at one point it was respect, I don't know if it really was to begin with. Um, because was there a social construct and a social norm and a tradition? Yes. But was the respect there? I don't know. We don't know. Um, things changed the way it did. Things changed so fast when it comes to the feminist movement and suffrage movement and all that. So it's like I don't know what the respect was, to be honest. I don't know where the respect lied. I don't know if it was respecting the household because that was the tradition, or was it the black man in general? So um that I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one.
Okay, you use feminist movement as an example. Okay, the movement started because they were being disrespected, in terms of wages, in terms of, the autonomy of their body. So again, it really just boils down to you have to give respect to get respect.
No, the feminist movement started because white women felt that way, not because black women
Well,
felt that way.
yeah, originally, but it still applied. Like honestly, if white women felt that way, I just wonder how the dynamic with black women was.
I don't know. That's why I say I don't know.
It was awesome.
Nat, what you think about
Yeah,
that?
I don't
What
know.
you
Oh,
Black men didn't have a patriarchy. That's what I know.
It was awesome. Black women was living a life, man. They had it great. And they got selfish, and they said, "Damn, they getting some individualism, and they chose individualism over the community." But that's neither here nor there. As far as the question, as far as the question you said, Kevin,
oh,
I would
man.
say as far as the average guy, no. As far as what like men in general that are black move like, I would say no, they don't get no respect. I would say that black women have a unrealistic idea of what black men should be. And I think it's because they look at themselves as like I said the other day, on a higher level than black men, or they compare because they see entertainment, because we thrive in entertainment and sports and all this stuff. They look at those as the role models, You know, they look at those as the people that they're attracted to. They don't look at the business class or the guys that's working 9 to 5 that got a good salary, that know how to invest as the people they should.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, you just really think this is like the mass majority of Black women, how they think?
I think the mass majority of Black women have an unrealistic opinion of Black men. I'm not saying all of them in that category, but in some category, yes. Whether they think they should be super tough, or whether they think they should be super stylish, or whether they think they should be super rich. I think it's some unrealistic idea of what a Black man is.
So where's that? Where's the respect then? So you said
I'm saying there's no respect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying there's no respect for, the majority of Black men. I tell people all the time, Black men always talk about this lead-in and being able to change the community and all this stuff. But when I go to the white community, their communities thrive off of regular people getting with regular people, building family wealth and passing it down to their kids. Black women had this idea that a man's supposed to become rich by himself or get to a level of achievement by himself, and then they join after he gets that way. But most people, they don't get to a level like that by themselves. I understand when people say, hey, men should make themselves valuable, we need to have our shit together and everything. But most people ain't coming up doing it alone. A lot of people in those other communities getting together early, 18, 19, 20, and they building together to get to a certain level.
Okay, but the thing is, you have to realize why we think that way, if that's what you think. Like, the reason why, I think a lot of, not even just Black women in general, because it's not even just Black women who really do this, honestly. I remember you even saying, in another podcast, that a lot of people marry for wealth. Okay, so hold on to that. So, when we build with you, right? There's a lot of times where we build with you, we make your career essentially and hold you down, and then you go and marry someone else. A lot of the time, someone else that doesn't even look like us after we're done building. So at the time, we're just done taking of our building, taking in vain. And, you're expecting us to build with you on top of raising kids, working, and building with you. I guess I don't think there's too much responsibility in terms of what you guys have to do versus what we have to do. We have to, on top of all the things and responsibilities we have to do, build with you guys.
I mean, as far as the first statement you made when you said I made the comment on one of the other podcasts, I still agree with that comment. Families do get together for wealth. That don't mean they're expecting one person to have 95, 100% of the wealth before they come into it. Getting together for wealth could be two people at $50,000 getting together to support they're putting their funds together to be able to build a family up and invest and, just become more financially literate and everything. So
and at that point, it's not for wealth then, right? Because if you're as wealthy as I am, then what would be the point of that?
I didn't catch that last line you said.
I said at that point, it wouldn't be for wealth. So at that point, it wouldn't be for that then.
Well, I just disagree with that. And like I said, as far as I said, the other communities, people are getting together, average earners getting with average earners, and they're thriving off of that. There's no, and then even the point you just made, I wanted to jump on that. You said something about women helping men build and then leaving them for another woman. That lets me know you were just looking at entertainment. The same thing I said is the problem with our community. Most guys that's coming up with women are staying with the women. Most guys that make a certain amount of money ain't getting divorced like that. We're looking at entertainers, which a lot of Black women do, and look at that and use those examples to what happens. They're looking at the Kanye West that came up with a regular woman, then left her for Kim Kardashian. Most dudes
we're looking at them. We're looking at them because I'm not in your home. I know this is what we see, and it's a reflection of the community, right? I'm not in your home.
That's bad that the only thing y'all seen is entertainment. That's the problem. If the only thing y'all seen is the examples on TV, that's the issue. Because those people don't move nothing like how Black men in society move. The average Black man, that's 3% of guys that's moving that way. We talk about entertainers, athletes, and maybe a few hustlers that's on a high level. But most people ain't moving like that, just leaving somebody because they come up with them. Most people that get married, if they come up, they staying with that woman.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what basis you have on that, really. We don't, because like if you okay, we're looking at entertainment and we're using that as an example because people are able to comment like if like what they're doing is true or not in the reality of an average person. And I don't know, there's a lot of people up in arms when things come, when push comes to shove, and like the examples that the entertainers make, and we see like what they do, and there's not a lot of like disagreements in terms of like what like normal people have to face as well versus what they do.
No, I think a lot of black men definitely disagreeing with the stuff they hear. I think a lot of black women are agreeing with the stuff they hear on entertainment, and believe in this stuff. But I believe a lot of black men know that's not the case. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so much black men in the uproar now speaking about we've been telling these women this. You wouldn't have somebody like Kevin Samuels that blew up over the last couple of years because a lot of black men always felt that way. So he spoke for a lot of people, So I just disagree with that, and I think like I say, black women have an unrealistic expectation of black men, even sexuality. Some of that's pushed by us too, But those are, like I say, the small percentage of guys that become entertainers that are very braggadocious, and we make it seem like we're the best in everything. So a lot of females look at those entertainments and say, hey, black men should be the best in your bed. They get with the white man, they don't expect the same thing. Black men should be millionaires. They get with someone else, they don't expect the same thing. So I think that plays into the disrespect of black men.
Hey, I know, Kev, you haven't answered the question yet, but I know I wanna interject with a question though. What do you think black women do respect?
As far as you talking to me, or just
Both of y'all. Both of y'all.
Okay. I think they respect people that move like the people they look up to, entertainers. I think it's an energy that comes with hustlers that they respect. I believe even if a person is not a hustler, not rich or nothing like that, there's guys that move with a certain confidence, with a certain swag that demands attention. I think they respect like that. I think black women respect guys that bring attention towards them. I think if they respect that, I don't believe they respect as much the humble, laid back, reserved type guy until they get older, especially younger females, in that 20s, teenager years, late 20s, early 30s. I think they respect what brings attention, especially with social media blowing up now. People base their whole relationship off if you got a Facebook and Instagram. We mentioned that before the show. There's a lot of people, they can't post you, if you don't bring a certain look where they can post you on Instagram, Facebook, and all this stuff, they look at you different than another guy.
I just don't think that should be isolated to black women, honestly. You could look at that aspect in everybody, honestly. But wait, what was the question that you asked again? Sorry.
What do black women respect?
So like I think that we respect, me being a black woman, I think we respect people who are respectful. Like disrespectful. Look at like, what falls under the umbrella of respect, like being patient, having like, the capacity to say like, hey, like, like even if you say, hey, this is the culture. Oh, black women like people with money. Da 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 da. If that's like something that they were respect, which by the way is not even just respected by us, it's respected by everybody. You're gonna gain respect by everybody if you make a certain amount. Then why don't, instead of complaining that this is the bar, why can't you just do like what you have to do to achieve that? Like it's not our fault that this is what the bar, this is what the society respects. This is what's going to be able to bring like a comfortable life, providing food on the table. This is like, there's a reason why we want those types of things. It's not even for like a vain type of value. There's a reason behind that as well. Like we're just done struggling. We don't want to be, again, the poster child for struggle. So this is why like we're seeing as like jobs are growing, the market's growing, there's more spaces for us to exist in. We want and we are expecting more than we ever did.
I don't think there's no shortcut to success, though. I think you still got to do
it. Of course
you still
not.
got to do it the traditional way. Some people try to be too new about everything. They look at certain things the older generation did and they frown up on. But a lot of things that people consider boring is stability, and it's actually how most people get to a certain level. You're not going to come in getting a guy that's already on a certain level by itself and you just lay back and get to do your hair and take pictures on Instagram all day and shop. Now, it's going to require work from both people.
See, now you're looking for the entertainment version of women. Like you said that I shouldn't do that with men, but this is what you're doing with women. Not all women are like that.
I'm not saying that. I was just making a point, and I didn't say everybody, but I was just making a point. I was being a little sarcastic too. But
okay.
So, to answer the question, I'm gonna answer both very quickly because it's just that simple for me. To answer the question of do black women respect black men today, I'm gonna say it just like how me and my little brother when we was talking earlier. No, they do not respect black men because black women don't even respect they fucking selves. So I find it
Gas.
hard to be difficult to respect me when you don't even show respect for yourself.
How do we not respect ourselves? Like, what do
Um,
you mean?
we could dive into it.
Break it down, KJ, please. I'm
I got
interested.
you. I
And
got
then
you.
you have a show on that already about is it disrespectful? They kind of alluded to how women respect themselves.
Not indirect. Not indirect. No.
Uh,
I'm gonna dive in this for easy, but also to answer Kev question of what women do respect. Women respect money and women respect authority as far as power. That's all they respect.
Yeah, as far as power dynamics and attention.
Yes, they respect those who have a lot of money, and then they respect those who have power, those who can move. Ever since archaic times, women always moved underneath the umbrella of trying to be up underneath power as close as they could possibly get. So to walk it back to my original statement that Izzy wanted me to dive into. When we look at the way that women operate today, this ain't hard. All we gotta do is look at the way that women are operating today. I don't know and I know that respect could be subjective upon certain levels of platforms, but the shit women doing today is not respectful. The way that they carry themselves is not respectful. The way that they get to talking is not respectful. The way that a lot of these women raising their kids ain't respectful because they're not even proper models to be raising them. It's not respectful. I mean, all you have to do is really look at the way a lot of them are moving. I'm not saying all, but it's a lot of them. And not doing respectful things.
but that's why I said what I said earlier about the measure of respect, because respect is so subjective now.
Mm-hmm.
So you never really know what is the standard of respect to even know how anyone respects anything to a certain degree.
I
Like
agree.
everybody has, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, out of everything you named that wasn't respectful, there's a group, there's a community
I
or a
agree.
culture that respects all of it.
I agree.
That's a fact.
I agree. No,
That's kind of what I
I
hit up on
agree.
earlier.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I said
And
earlier.
I also understand too that as we move further and further in life, even within communities, I know that the bar becomes lower and lower and lower. It's just like limbo. Like it keeps getting lower and lower.
And I want to say something to a point you made too, Kevin. I want to add something to it. I agree with you when you said women have always respect, power, and authority. I think that the issue is, like I heard a female on the podcast recently say that when she meet a crew of dudes, if it ain't the top dude in that crew or the second to the top dude, she ain't interested in nobody else. You know, everybody else ain't nobody to her. And this was a black lady speaking on one of the podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that in other cultures, I don't see that as much. Of course, yeah, they respect power and authority, but they don't say, I got to have that or everybody else ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? When I see Hispanic women with Hispanic dudes, some of these dudes ain't powerful. They ain't making the most money. They ain't the most handsomest. They happy. I see some white dudes with regular post-mill white men in these suburbs happy. Not saying I got to have the top dude at the post office. It's something about black women where they feel like, not all, of course, not even say majority, but it is the trend that's trending upward. They saying that I have to have the top dude in whatever circle I'm moving in. Other than that, I don't want to deal with them. And that shows when you say if that is true or not. People bring it up a lot, but all these women having babies by very few of the men in the black community, which means most of the men are respecting very few little men in the community. They all are attracted to the same thing, which is usually the alpha male or the top, that guy that's showing dominance. But other cultures, they may respect that, but they still deal with something that's less than that.
I mean, I listen. It happens all the time. My next question: do women place their imagery over fathers today? Do women place their imagery over fathers? Kev, what you think about it?
Place their imagery over fathers. What you mean by that?
Their images. So when we talk about the family structure, most women care more about how they look than they actually care about you actually being able to uphold your role as the father.
Oh, okay, I got you. Are you talking about like just their perception of to a certain degree? So I think there's a lot of women who do hold their image or perception over even whatever is best for their child and the father. Because I've seen it. The only reason that's only because I've seen it. So it's like I don't want my kid to go and live with, or for the father of the child to be the custodial parent, because it's gonna make me look like a bad mother, or it's gonna make me look a certain way. I don't want certain things to happen because it may make me look crazy. I've seen that happen, even if that situation might be what's best for the child. But that image plays such an important role. So yes, I do think that there's a subsection of women who do put their image over the fatherhood.
What you think about that, Izzy? Do women seem to be placing their imagery over the father's role and duties?
Um, yes, I do. I mean, that's the person that's supposed to be representing your unit, essentially. So I think they do put like a certain imagery look in terms of like, I guess, mainly how like they carry themselves, how they act outside of like, when they're outside of the household. I think like they really focus on, and like how they spend financially and how they are and like how they use their money. I think like this is just something that they focus on, or we focus on, mainly because it's just like to have self-preservation over the family. Like, if you have someone that's out here like running out on them, like cheating or like misusing the money, like that's gonna like obviously eventually perpetuate the family to like break up or have like like a broken concept and broken ideologies. So I really think like they do look at that because they are supposed to be the leader, and it's just to preserve the family unit.
Matt, what you think?
Oh, most definitely. I would definitely say that. And one of the examples I use is you hear a lot of females talking about wanting a kid, but not even talking about wanting a husband. Not even talking about, even when they select men, they never select men based on. I never. Let me take that word. I misspoke. But a lot of times they don't select men based on fatherhood and leadership. They select men based on image. What looks good around them, what looks good, to the eye. So based on those examples and how I see women move, I would definitely agree that they don't value fatherhood over image. They value image over fatherhood.
Wait, was that the question? Is they value image over fatherhood?
Yeah, they
Yes,
value their
ma'am.
image, their personal image over fatherhood. Yes.
Oh, okay.
What you thought the question was? What was your answer?
I was just saying like they do value the image. I didn't hear the fatherhood part.
I was wondering because it was something you were saying. I was like, what? But I got it
I
now.
was thinking that going into it too. I was like, well, what is he talking about?
I was thinking that too.
Y'all were just letting me talk. Okay.
I didn't want to cut you off. I was like, okay, well, she might. I was like, maybe she. How sometimes people building up to it and then they circle back. I was like, well, maybe she gonna hit the circle. I was just thinking maybe she was. That was you wanted us to see it first, and they'd be like, boom. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
So that's why I didn't say so. Oh man. So if I answer the question, I think I like, and I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. I think a lot of women do that. Like, it's a lot of situations that you can see that just won't be beneficial for like the children. That women care more about the way they look and how family or other people will view them. That they won't even make the right decisions when it comes to the betterment of their children. I've seen them do it. I've seen fathers be in better positions, and they're like, "Yo, that man you probably need to get yourself established. Let that man take that child for a little bit, and you get yourself established or whatever may have you." But most women wouldn't even step into that realm because they're like, "Yo, you're not gonna make me look bad." Because their idea of a child going to stay with their father is literally you making them look bad.
But I
When
don't. I
But I
heard
guess
Ted
my
say that.
question is, who are they looking bad to?
But I
A
heard Ted.
lot
I
of
heard
it,
you
a
say
lot of it is family. A lot of it is their peers. They feel like if they would allow it to happen, they'll be. It's like almost like they're saying that they're losing in a sense. Like, oh, you trying to say I can't maintain because we push the concept of strong black women so hard that idea they feel like they stepping backwards.
that's a good point.
And I've seen it several times.
I think a lot of times though it's also just out of spite and out of the fact that I get paid for having a kid. But I do agree with what you said too, though.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I mean, and yeah, that of course, it's several things that play into the faulty decision making of why they won't do what's best for them. But
Yeah,
I see a lot of times, image plays a part.
yeah. You got some girls that's having kids that even though they don't want the father to get them, kid ain't really with them either. It's the mother, their
Yep.
mother that's raising the kid anyway. So I mean, they ain't even keeping
Or
the kid. You know
grandmother.
what I'm saying? A
Or
lot of kids
grandmother.
closer with their grandma than they close with their mama.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But
Oh man, I got another
a
question.
lot of that has to do with pride. Sometimes, depending on that situation, it could be I've seen situations where her pride won't allow her to do what's best for the child because it's gonna make her look a certain way because her intention of even being with this guy was to have like what you were saying, like there's women who don't want to be married but want to have a child. Like some of them women have mentalities to where they would much rather be a baby mama than be a wife. And because I would want to have a child, once I have that child and then realize it's not what I thought it was, I'm going to do whatever is going to save my face.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I've seen that a lot. I got a question. This is one of them things I've been hearing this, and I always just wondered, I be trying to understand when I be hearing certain urban terms because I'm not in the mix like a lot of people because I really don't care. But I be trying to understand. I want to know this. What is fuck nigga free? What is that?
Fuck nigga free.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Free?
I don't know.
Yeah, what is it?
No,
Like that little shorty.
nigga free.
That
Fuck
little
nigga
shorty,
free
that
is
little shorty who had just signed the Gotti. I don't know.
Glorilla.
There
That's what her name is.
The little shorty, she got the song out. So I be hearing, I'm hearing like I be hearing a lot of women say the term now. Like they like that song and they like saying that term too. They be like, no, fuck nigga, fuck nigga, fuck nigga. So I guess first we gotta establish what is this fuck nigga, and then what does it mean to be fuck nigga free?
Oh, fuck. Oh, I got you now.
Yeah, that's what that is.
I
That's
got
what
you.
it is. I'm free of a fuck nigga, pretty
I
much.
got
That's
you.
all
I
it
got
really
you. I
is.
got you. When you broke it
So
down,
what is the fuck nigga though? Because I don't know what the fuck nigga is.
I think that shit is subjective. I think that's subjective depending on what she feels is a fuck nigga.
I tell you what. What is a fuck nigga?
Go ahead.
So, a fuck nigga is basically
She ready.
someone
Yeah.
basically
I was
someone
ready for that one.
Yeah,
who wastes your time, is broke, is unmotivated. Sometimes they live with their mama, or they want you to act like their mom. What else? There's such a long list of things that make a fuck nigga.
A nigga that ain't lived up to the false expectation you had of him. that he never had the potential for.
It's not my expectations that I made. So
I'm just using you as an example because you're the only female.
Okay, well, you can throw that in the batch too. So again, that might be broke. That might be broke.
Most women that use the fuck nigga, what they pretty much saying is he ain't live up to the unrealistic expectations that I had.
It's not unrealistic. It's not unrealistic. It's not.
Hey, that sounds pretty close. If I take how Matt just said it, it makes way more sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure it do. I'm sure it do.
That makes sense.
This nigga ain't been where he said he was gonna be. Or what?
Where are the females in this podcast? Like, what is good? I'm holding down the fort by myself.
You're doing a good job, though. You're not letting it become this. You're not letting it even though it might feel like a handicap match. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
From what I know, that different conversation I've had with women is a fuck nigga really is just a hoe. A nigga that lied.
That too.
A nigga that's pretty much what it's just a dude that lied and that they got played by. That's all a fuck nigga is.
I agree with that, but that goes into, like I say, the exact line I went to, because a lot of women, what they say they like, most women admit that they like dudes that can get other females. So my expectation is when I put this good pussy on him, he not gonna want no other female. He gonna be stuck for me. And when he don't do that, the expectations I put on this nigga falsely, he ain't come through with. So that's why he a fuck nigga, because I got this bullshit belief that he gonna be different with me.
What? Nah.
Yeah.
You must be speaking to a female you know, not by me, because I don't think that way.
I'm speaking to a female I know, and just how a lot of females move. I put this expectation on this nigga that he gonna be a big drug dealer. He gonna be the next big meat, and we gonna live a certain life.
What? Why can't it be a drug deal?
He a fuck nigga because he ain't coming through.
Hey man, Matt, CT93 say, Matt, no, shut up. I guess you're not doing a good job.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but shut up. Like, that's not true.
I guess you ain't doing a good job to find it. But she also said earlier though that I guess the fuck niggas, the nigga that play games, going around trying to fuck on multiple women. CT.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Who said that?
That's CT93.
Because you got because you got a lot of people. You got a lot of women calling dudes fuck niggas who ain't even fucking a lot of dudes. You got a lot of women calling fuck niggas for all kind of reasons. And the one thing in common is I expected him to be this, and he ain't that. Because if a female is fucking with a fuck nigga, I mean, what y'all consider a fuck nigga, and they just got a fuck relationship, she wouldn't call him a fuck nigga for fucking around because they have a fuck relationship. She would call him a fuck nigga for another expectation outside of that.
And the reason why I said it makes sense,
I gotta disagree with that, because some niggas is just fuck niggas that they don't have any expectations of. They just playing games.
No, but why? But the female that's calling them a fuck nigga is if it ain't playing games if you with the game that's being played. The only reason they calling him a fuck nigga is because the game is something they didn't have an image of him doing, or they had an image of him doing. They just felt because of their ego, he wouldn't do that with me. Most of these dudes, Kevin, and I tell Caprice that she can cam up. Most of these dudes
talk that shit.
Yeah, most of these.
This sounds personal.
Kevin, right or wrong? Everybody answer this. Right or wrong? Everybody give me a yes or no what y'all think about this. Most of the women that calling dudes a fuck nigga, he ain't doing nothing new. He ain't just did something out the blue that was unexpected, that no one saw coming from left field. It was something he had a history of. Like the female that call a nigga a fuck nigga that had 3 baby mamas before her, and now he leaving her out there to dry. Do you believe that? Yeah, no, Kevin.
I think it's some bullshit. I think that term, that this phrase that's being used is very, very broad, and it mean a whole bunch of different shit. Because even when Izzy got started, Izzy even said, like, after she named about 3-4 things, she was like, "Oh man, it's a whole list of things that could be that." So that gets kind of confusing because it's almost like,
that's what I'm saying,
and that's why I was saying what Matt said made sense, because basically it's almost like you gonna label him a fuck nigga basically if he's not completing whatever it is that you want to see or redeemed to be done.
Exactly.
If he's not coming to the completion of that, then he's a fuck nigga.
Exactly. That's exactly
Well,
how I
there's a
know.
certain standard
here's the
of
thing about it,
personality
right?
you have to have.
But
If
here's
you're
the thing. Go ahead, my bad.
no, like, I'm sorry, but like there's a certain standard of like, first of all, it's like at that point, like you kind of have to look at yourself, you know, if you're just constantly choosing fuck niggas, honestly, because like, you know, if that's like something that you're just like doing like constantly, you just have to like look at yourself. But like honestly, like but honestly, I don't know, there's just like so much like there's like
And
there's a standard of behaviors that you have to like look at and have for you to not even be considered that. Like you might even fall broke or fall short or whatever, but if you're a certain standard of person already, like I think we're a little bit like reluctant to call you that. But if you already ain't shit, if you already like you don't care, you just like have like this like whatever-ish attitude to you on top of the other things, then yeah, like fuck you, you're a fuck nigga.
I just look at it like this, because you remember that TLC song "No More Scrubs"?
Hell yeah, my
Then
jam.
you got "Fuck Nigga Free." I feel like no more scrubs. I think that Izzy is describing a scrub, like somebody who living with his mama or somebody who ain't, got this and got that. But a fuck nigga is much more aggressive. It's much more of uh your immediate, I guess your immediate like interaction. Like this, yeah, he a fuck nigga because he just lied to me, lied to her, like he a fuck nigga. It ain't really about what he got or what he don't have. It's about his interaction with her.
And guess what? The next woman, she see that he lied to those other women. She see that those other women consider him a fuck nigga. Guess who she gonna get that pussy to? That same fuck nigga. She gonna try to change him, and it ain't gonna work. And now she gonna be saying he is a fuck nigga, not because he was a fuck nigga before, because he let me down. You know, it's like
Well, that's not fair. She wasn't in that relationship to know what he
like,
actually was doing. She only knows what he told her.
But if everybody's saying a nigga a fuck nigga, you seen a nigga with a different woman every other week, or you seen a nigga not coming through previously.
How do we see that? Are we the FBI? No, we don't see that.
No, but if you getting into a relationship with somebody, unless you somebody that just meeting a nigga overnight and jump into a relationship, but if you known this nigga around, I'm talking about like a nigga that's known and you fucking with him, and you consider him a fuck nigga, he ain't doing nothing that you don't know of, that you history of it, that you know the attributes of niggas that possibly can be a fuck nigga. If you got making a whole song and you jam into it, you should know the attributes of it now.
Oh, I'm not speaking about me. I'm speaking about.
Yeah, you should know the signs. You know the signs of a nigga that move in a certain way.
Of course, I do. Yes.
I mean, I was the one that was lost. I was the one trying to figure it out.
I was just describing what it was. I ain't going to who was being manipulated and shit. Like I ain't going to all that.
I just wanted to know who it was. What was this? Who is this fuck nigga? I was just confused because I hear a term and I hear people. CT says, "Oh man." Well, she gave her breakdown. It's simple. A nigga that lies, play games, and fuck on multiple women is the basic. And somebody she calling red pill. I'm assuming she talking about Matt.
Hell yeah, he coming out of that red pill ideology.
Nah, I'm coming out with the truth.
Yeah, okay. You can tell he just watched the Alpha Male podcast before this.
Oh man, don't.
I ain't seen
Alpha Male Strategies. That was you got Alpha Male Strategies. That what it is.
I watched that before. I ain't watched that shit recently. A year ago.
I watched it before. Oh man. Yo. Let me ask the question. So, will we ever be able to unite again? Like, do y'all think it's a wrap? Do y'all think it's gonna get a lot worse? Or do y'all think we're gonna be able to turn this thing around? We're gonna be able to get back right, you know what I'm saying? Be able to rebuild these families and flourish and all these other good things. What y'all think, man? Because right now it seems like we a little chaotic right now. What y'all think?
I think it's a great possibility, but we won't be alive to see it. It won't happen in our generation.
You think our kids will see it?
Maybe our kids, our grandkids. But as far as us, we done. We out of here.
Yeah.
Oh man, Izzy, what you think, man?
I mean, I have hope, but it's not looking too good right now, honestly. Um, I, yeah, I have hope. Like I'm an optimistic person, so hopefully, I think like if the people that we look up to the most start like acting a different type of way and stop glorifying brokenness, then like maybe slowly that'll be like the medicine for the culture. But as of right now, it's not looking too good for us.
Maddie, what you think, man?
um, I'm indifferent about it. I'm optimistic sometimes. Sometimes I'm not as optimistic. There's pros and cons. I see a lot of certain things getting better, but also certain things get worse because the more people are fighting to unite, the more people are fighting against it. And then I think like everybody's definition of uniting is different, so it's always going to be a divide as well. But I am optimistic we can get to a point that's way better than now, where we are not as bad, and like, but I don't think it'll ever be to a position where we're all in alignment with each other. I just think as Black people we believe too many different things to ever be in alignment with each other. But the thing that makes me not optimistic about it, because like I say, I'm indifferent about it, is the fact that we don't know how to leave people behind. Most units that build together or communities that rise up, it's because they know how to kick the family members, kick the friends out, kick the people in the community out that don't follow a certain, standard. We accept everybody. We accept the brother that steals, the homie down the street that's shooting at people and bullying people. We try to make peace with everybody. We try to make everybody a part of everything. That makes me, I know it won't work like that. You have to be able to cut a lot of people off and move forward and let those people fall.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kev, man. I think it's a wrap. I don't do the wishing upon a star. I really don't have too much faith when it comes to this shit. I think it's a wrap. I think because I think it's a certain mentality that we have now stumbled across that it's not as easy as a shift now. I don't think it's as easy as just making a choice now. I think we would literally have to fucking destroy the mentality that a lot of these ones are carrying just to even be able to then rebuild it back up to whatever it is that we believe that probably is the righteous way of walking. So I think that I think it's too late. I think it's a wrap. Might as well hang it up. We ain't gonna see it, and it's only gonna get worse, especially as far as our lifetime. Now I believe it could happen, but I agree with what Kev said. It'll probably be way later down the line. But as far as
Yeah, I
us,
don't know. I don't know what that unity would look like because the unity that we had was in subjugation and slavery and no rights. We had no choice at that point. Well, we had a choice, but we had no better option but to be unified at that point.
mm-hmm.
Now, if we're talking about having to go back to that, then that's the only other way I can see unity. But at the same time, there can be a different type of unity, but I don't think we'll see that. There would have
Yeah.
to be a unified front some type of way. I don't know what the front would be, what the cause would be.
So, in everybody's opinion, right? I just want to know, like, just personally, each individual from y'all opticians, what y'all see. What is it that you see that makes you believe or makes you feel like that or if you might not even feel this way, of why we are so at odds as far as Black women and Black men? Like, why are we so at odds? Like, from what y'all have seen, if y'all wouldn't mind, breaking it down. What is it? Like, why? Why can't
I would start with ego. I think ego is one of the biggest things on both sides, not just women. I think men have ego with these unrealistic standards. I'm hearing men that's 30 something years old talk about they don't want a woman that ever gave a blowjob and stuff. I know that's not the majority, but I think people just have unrealistic standards on each other and unforgiving. You know, whether it's not dealing with a woman that have a kid when, like how we say 70-80% of women in the community have kids now. So it's going to be hard to get it back together when a lot of people are placing these standards that most people can't live up to today in today's time. So I think that's the biggest issue, the ego of everybody. And like you can't even put yourself in the right relationship because you think you're better than the person you actually qualify for on both sides. You know, dudes want the Instagram model. You know, they want girls that look like that. Women want the 6 feet athlete guy. So I think that's the reason women and men are at odds.
Okay.
Don't be
I
quiet.
think we got Caprice in.
Yeah, I mean you can talk, do your thing.
You summon me. What's the issue?
No, I say you jump on to say what you got to say. If you got something to say, you can say and we can have the conversation. So if you jump on, you want to have the conversation, we can have it.
So we were talking about what, that fuck nigga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within that fuck nigga. So Caprice, the fuck nigga is what exactly? Since we can hear you, what is it?
A fuck nigga is a nigga that lie, play games, and try to fuck on a bunch of women. That's all that it is.
So a fuck nigga is a player. He used to be a player one time. Now he a fuck nigga?
Yeah, they just changed the term. You know, it went from a player to a hoe to now a fuck nigga.
I don't disagree with that sentiment you're making when you make that line because I was hitting it from the point of the female knows that this guy has those intangibles and still choose to deal with that guy, which would mean she's not upset that he is that. She's upset that he actually is that with her.
No, that's not always the case. I could say that would be true.
I didn't say always.
I say that would be true if she messed with multiple niggas. If every nigga that she fuck with, she saying, oh, they all was fuck niggas, then yeah, you know you fucking with a fuck nigga. But if you had your first fuck nigga, no, you can't say that, oh, you knew how this man was gonna be moving.
But how many females we know walking around that's saying they only met one fuck nigga in their life? Most females I talk to, they got a bunch of baby daddies. All their baby daddies was fuck niggas. All the niggas they fucked with before was fuck niggas. It's not like they just saying one person out of all the guys I messed with was a fuck nigga.
You know a lot of females.
I don't know a lot of females, but I have a conversation with a lot of people.
And you assuming that they had more than one fuck nigga.
I hear a lot of females saying that, yeah, especially I hear a lot of females saying they have more than one fuck nigga. It's usually not just one fuck nigga. When I have conversations with females, I be like, oh, so what happened with this relationship? What happened with this guy? That comes up a lot. That nigga was a fuck nigga. Pretty much everything that didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out, he's summing up by saying it's a fuck nigga.
So who all had dived in when I asked the last question? I ain't know when my joint started messing up. I heard when I jumped back in, I heard Matt answering the question.
Yeah, Matt answered. I forgot what the question was.
From y'all optician, why are we so at odds? Black men.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I agree with Matt as far as ego. It's a lot of ego on both sides, a lot of pride on both sides, which causes a disconnect in communication. It causes a disconnect in understanding. So I think that not only are people not understanding each other, I mean, a lot of people don't understand themselves either. So it's like there's a loss and a disconnect in being able to know what the other person even wants or needs in life, or what they even want and need in life to be compatible with somebody else, or be able to talk to someone else. I mean, people like to bring up trauma and mental health a lot, but at the same time, there's a lot that wasn't even taught just in general as far as how to interact with the other gender.
That's
so I think that I think a lot of that has to do with just not knowing how to communicate. But I think from an adult standpoint, it is a lot of ego, a whole lot of ego, a whole lot of over over self-valuation. It's out of control.
Izzy, what you think? From your optician, man, why are we so at odds?
I think there's just a lot of like unresolved anger and resentment. And I think it really can stem from the very beginning when you were raised in your home with your family. I think like they looked at a lot of family dynamics and they're resentful. So I think because they were taught like that standard, they kind of like have like this mentality where like they think like maybe all people are like this, you know? So I think it's just like a lot of like it comes from a lot of like unresolved like issues that they probably have that they grew up with.
I do got another comment though. We didn't really start talking about black men and women being at odds until black men stopped being silent about it. When black men didn't have platforms to talk about what they thought and felt about black women, nobody was at odds then.
Yeah, it was at odds. It just wasn't a popular conversation.
So I guess what he's saying is that the battle wasn't there. Like
The battle, yeah,
frustration and everything was there, but there was no battle of it. It's pretty much the whole concept of just suffering in silence.
Yeah.
Caprice, what from your optician, what you think? Why are we so at odds?
Ego and pride.
Ego and pride.
I like what you said too, though, Kev. See about the understanding. I wanted to hit on that. I was gonna let everybody get their word in. That's definitely a great point you made. You know, because I think women don't understand the power they have and how guys can thrive with the support of their females. I think we do respect females that move a certain way, and I think females respect guys that move a certain way. And Kev, I learned from you, KJ, that like patience is the thing a lot of guys need to actually adopt, and we don't do that a lot of times. You know, we can't be expecting meeting these females and them to be everything you want them to be out the gate. You know, when you get older, you start learning a level. It takes a level of patience because we all coming from something. A lot of people are damaged. Most of the time, if you're moving out here and you're in your late 20s, 30s, and you ain't married or you ain't no suitable home, there's probably been some damage that caused there, some hardship that happened at some point. Everybody done had their heart broken and been through stuff. So I think guys also feel coming into the relationship expect the females to be perfect, have no attitude, move a certain way, talk a certain way, and it's just unrealistic. So I think we definitely need to have patience. And that comes from understanding, like how KFC said.
Hey, Kev, I got a question for you. Do you think it's disrespectful if a woman tell you I want a man but don't need a man?
No.
Nah, I don't think that's disrespectful for her to say that.
I don't think it's disrespectful, but I think a lot of women that actually vocalize that, it shows in the attitude and the demeanor as well. They move like they don't need you, you know.
Well, I think a lot of women who jump to vocalize it lying.
Yeah, when you jump in to vocalize it, you just trying to fill your ego. But
that means you have to break through something.
If you just moving like that, and the man could just tell how you moving that you really don't need him, but you want him. Why would anybody want somebody to need them? Because then once you fulfill that need, why should I stay with you? What else is it after you fulfill that need?
I don't know, because
wanting to stay with me, wanting to be with you, that is a choice, and I'm choosing that every day that I'm with you, and that's what you should want, not me based on what I need from you. Y'all have a problem with this toolage being used as a tool. Tools are something that's needed. So if you don't want to be used as a tool, why would you not be wanted instead of needed?
So, but do we believe that relationships can last long term if it's just a want? Because I'm not saying it's the majority, but I spoke to some married couples, and a lot of times, especially from the female side, they feel like they need their man. Like, it was a great choice. I'm glad I picked the husband. I got these people that are in happy marriages. They look at their man like he's different than every other man. I needed that leadership. They don't look at it as, oh, it's just something I wanted. They look at it, some these people that are married, that happily married, that speak to these wives, they feel like they need their man. At least they verbalize that in certain conversations, maybe to make his ego feel good, but they definitely verbalize, I needed my husband to help me with this, to help me manage this, to help me do that. I don't think that's just a want.
I think both sides can definitely fail, the needs and the wants. But I think when we're trying to engage the actual happiness of it, I think it lies more on the people who actually want to be there than the ones who need to be there. Personally,
I think wanting to be there can wear off quicker than somebody actually fulfilling the need.
I think both. That's why. But I mean, like I said in the beginning, I think both can fail.
Because
I think when we're trying to engage happiness, I think the happiness comes more from that person who wants to be there than the person who needs to be there.
Where is the want? And I'm not gonna go too deep in this, but where is the want coming from? Because a lot of women are saying that
it's coming from them.
They could. I agree with that. They could do the same. But I think I'm saying it's derived from the need. Because a lot of women saying that they picking guys that they feel like they need something from, and that's making them want them because they have something that they actually need.
So let's try this. Izzy, you need a man?
No, I've done a lot without one, so I don't need one, but I would want one.
Do you? Okay, good. That's what I wanted. So Matt's asking the question of where would the want come from? Where does your wanting of a man come from?
The want of a man basically mainly comes from me wanting a family. Can't have a family with just me.
That means you would need a man.
That would definitely mean that you need a
man. No,
man.
you wouldn't need a man. You wouldn't need a man because you could easily like get a child without one and raise them on your own, and that could be considered your family unit. But the way I see family, I would want one.
Caprice, do you feel like you need a man? I know the answer now.
What?
Do you feel like you need a man?
No.
Do you want a man?
Yes.
So where does your want come from?
My want comes from just having that male energy, and it would have to do with that man. Me being attracted to that man, me liking that man mindset. I want to be around that all the time. I want to build with that. But as far as my needs, I already have children and I don't want no more. I can provide for myself. I mean,
so
what would I need a man for right now?
If that be the case, why do women have standards for men? Certain standards. Because if you just want the person, we should be able to we should be able. Let me finish my point.
This question was for me.
We should be able to stay together.
I'm not speaking for all women.
I'm not talking about you. I'm speaking to the whole panel. You just got finished talking, so you may think I'm talking to you, but I'm speaking to the whole panel. If this was the case, then why would women have standards? If that's the case, I should be able to use my money on what I'm using. You use your money on what you're using. I do what I do. You do what you do, and we come together. Why would they call a nigga a fuckboy because he's not being faithful? Or call a nigga this broke because he can't support the whole family load? Why are they looking for these things if it's just a want? They should just be happy to be there, right?
No.
Because they actually know they need something.
What are you talking about?
What are you like? This, I'm telling you, he just watched the Red Pill podcast. I'm telling you.
If I don't need something,
Kevin Samuels Jr.
If I don't need something, I wouldn't require nothing from it. I would only be happy to be around.
Just say that you want a woman to need you. Just say that. Just say that you want a woman to need you. Just say that.
I don't because care.
I can't speak.
Izzy say we got 3 cats on the show.
Maybe most women need
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I keep calling. I get confused and mad.
And another thing is too. I hear women say,
and you said why? You said, why would a woman be mad if the man is unfaithful and call him a fuck nigga? You called a fuck nigga because you told me that you was gonna only be with me and you end up fucking with other women. That is a fuck nigga. If you want to say that, oh, you want to fuck on me and fuck on other women, just say that. That's where the lie come in. That's a fuck nigga. You lie and say that it's only me and you, and that's not the case.
What you trying to say, Matt?
No.
Nah, I'm gonna let her have it. She just ain't gonna get it. You know, this is something you ain't gonna get, and that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get the red pill energy. I'm not.
Oh man. So
is it red pill? Is it red pill, Matt? I mean, you ain't really denied it. So is it?
I mean, I don't know. I just know I'm speaking the truth. I'm not following no red pill. If that's the case, now if what I'm saying happens to fall in alignment with what they say, they speak accurate shit like how I'm speaking accurate shit. There's a lot of things we say they came from somewhere, you know. But am I following that? No.
Good answer, Matt.
I just had to give you a chance to explain it, get out of it, get out some type of way.
I mean, but what he said is valid, though. I mean, if he just happened, if it aligns, then it aligns. But he might not be following it.
Exactly.
Oh man, guys, that was a good one. I mean, that's all I really had. You know what I'm saying? So we've reached the end. You know, that wasn't too difficult, was it? It got a little spicier at the end. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Caprice bringing that New York energy in here, causing that commotion, stirring it up. You know, we appreciate it. So y'all know how we do before we get up out of here. Y'all run the plugs, let the people know where they can find you. We'll start on this side. Yeah, tell the people where they can find you, man. What you got going on?
Kevin's Perspective, man. YouTube. If you don't know, you know now. Let's get down to the nitty gritty every week.
Okay. Izzy, tell the people where they can find you, man.
So you guys can find me at IzzyOjo94 on Instagram. Follow if you just want to see some cute pics, you know.
Hey, hold time. Some cute. Hey, what are you talking about? What type of pics you talking about?
Cute ones, like.
Okay.
You gonna put your baby pictures up there? Hell yeah!
That boy, they know he's stupid.
There's levels to cute. There's levels to cute. You know what I'm
saying? Most people call cute babies. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all are terrible, really.
He's stupid. That boy, you gonna put your baby pictures up? Yo, Matt, tell the people they can find you, man.
Matthew Washington on Facebook. The red pill man is the hashtag. Now I'm just fucking with y'all.
Nah, you stupid.
But Matthew Washington is the name on Facebook.
Preach, you got people can find you, or they still ain't finding you. You probably gonna say no. Most likely, I know.
Vocal Visions is the network, so stay tuned.
Oh yeah, most definitely. All right, y'all know me. You know, Mr. Humble Beginnings. Oh man. I ain't done this week. I still got about 2 more shows to get out this week. So we still rocking. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know where we at. Hey, this was another great one. Y'all know the team. We always rocking. We always building. There's always going to be a few more. Y'all know how it is. We're going to keep giving y'all these introspectives and building and diving into having these conversations because this is what we do and we care about the understanding and what people know going throughout. So, until the next time, people, we out.